Hello everyone and welcome back guys to round 12 of our F2 2020 Mick Schumacher career mode where yes, we are here today ready for the championship finale. Obviously if you missed out on last week's video from the Russian Grand Prix, I would definitely recommend going back and checking it out. There will be spoilers in 3, 2, 1 now. So yeah, heading to Abu Dhabi, final race weekend of the season. We are officially F2 champion. We are officially the F2 teams champion as well. As you can see, we've got a very clear-cut advantage at the top of the standings. If I'm not mistaken, we would be P2 overall in the Constructors by ourselves at this stage of the World Championship. You know, we've had an absolutely dominant run of form. 94 points clear of Armstrong, our nearest rival, as we head into Abu Dhabi. There are still a lot of battles going on. Armstrong and Matsushita in the battle for P2. Markelov and Guan Yu in the battle for P4. And then you've also got the likes of Drogovic and Schwartzman battling out for P6 as well. So still plenty to play for up and down the field. But we can enjoy ourselves this weekend. Let's dive into the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix.
It's race day for our young drivers here in the United Arab Emirates, where the Yas Marina circuit is about to play host to the Abu Dhabi Formula 2 race. Let's get started. Yas Marina circuit is a 3.4-mile racetrack built on the man-made Yas Island. In addition to the 21 corners, it features 2 very long straights. Now these will be the drivers' main overtaking chances today, into turn 8 and turn 11. I'm sitting here, quite emotional, next to my friend Davide Valsecchi. Here we are at the end of the F2 calendar, and the atmosphere is electric. I have no doubt that the drivers will be giving it everything they have out there today. I can't wait to get underway.
Hey Alex, you are absolutely right. It's a very special place. This is a track like no other, an event like no other, a jewel in the crown of Formula 2. It's perfect. I think we are in for a fantastic racing event here.
As the engineers make their last inspection of the cars, let's take a look at today's grid order for the race. Marcus Armstrong lines up on pole position, and Nobuharu Matsushita completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Tictum, Alesi, Marino Sato, and Joe, Lundgaard, Deruvala, Sonoda, Kalamilot, Schwartzman, Dragovic, Artem Markelov, and Galeo, Aitken, Delatraz, Nissani, and Luca Giotto, Mazepin, and Pedro Piquet. Samaya and Mick Schumacher rounds off the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
So here we are then, ready on the grid for the penultimate time in the F2 career mode then here in the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. 16 laps ahead of us today. We're going to try the alternate strategy out with the car, you know, mediums to the softs to the ultra softs, the super softs, the ultra softs. It seems weird how suddenly the old tyre system is just completely forgotten about in the world of F1. But you know, this weekend we can have a bit of fun with it. We haven't got anything to lose. We haven't got anything to gain. We can just enjoy ourselves and have a bit of fun this time out. So very much looking forward to diving in to the final weekend of the World Championship. The final time ever we'll be able to do an F2 Mick Schumacher career mode. Obviously, we've done 2 of these in his 2 seasons of F2. 2021, he's in the big leagues. And hopefully, yeah, I mean, the results we've shown in this series definitely show that he is capable of that as well. We're getting ready then on the grid for the final time this season. The final weekend, it's finally red lights. And it's lights out, and away we go. One thing that certainly hasn't changed from the start to the end of this World Championship is the inability to get these cars off the line. As we head down in towards turn 1, we'll have a bit of a send up the inside of a couple of cars as everyone concertinaing up on the outside of turn 1 there. We'll have a look at the inside of PK. And yes, we have pulled off that move nice and early in this Grand Prix. So straight up into P20 then, 2 places made up off the start. Everyone all concertinaing up there as Giotto tried to slam the door shut. We just run to the back slightly of Nikita Mazepin. We'll then have a look around the outside as everyone's so bunched up at the start here. It's like they're going backwards at the moment. Straight at the inside of another couple of cars we go in. It's been a worldly of a start for ourselves. A very aggressive start, but we're up 7 spots as we head out onto the back straightaway for the first time here, already behind what originally was our main championship rival of Artem Markelov. Unfortunately, the second half of the season, he has completely fallen away in this battle as Markelov, very cautious on the brakes there from the young Russian drivers. We should be able to have a look around the outside through the second part of the chicane, hanging out over those curbs. A little bit of wheel spin on the exit of the corner there, but we should have made that move stick. We'll squeeze him a bit as we head up the next straightaway there, as the top end speed seems pretty even between myself and the driver there. On our outside, in towards the next corner, we are now up at a 14th place. Very, very good start. Armstrong leads the way then at the end of lap 1 as he tries to solidify P2 in the Drivers' World Championship. He did back pole position, so he has got a couple of extra bonus points over Matsushita there this weekend. The 2nd and 3rd place in the Drivers' Championship did line up 1st and 2nd on the grid for this one, obviously, as we started at the rear of the field. However, I don't think we ever actually got a pole position over the course of this championship. It really was just consistent top 10s and top 8s in both the feature and the sprint races that have carried us throughout the entirety of this season. Consistency is always key in Formula 2, as we're now closing into the back of Sean Galale. Have a look, we'll try and go deep into the hairpin, try and get a bit of a switch back on him there. You can see getting right under the gearbox of Sean as we head out onto the back straightaway. He's going to get a bit of a tow from Drogovic just in front of him. We'll try and get as much of that as we possibly can there, as well as just slotting in behind Sean Galale, giving him a big old squeeze. We'll have a look back to the inside in towards the next corner. Try not to be too eager on the brakes, as Drogovic a little bit earlier I was expecting there on the anchors, but we are up another spot.
Brilliant. Nice move.
Galale trying to come back at us though, down the next straightaway. Don't think he's quite got what it takes. AI seem to really, really struggle in these F2 cars. Down through the first sector, as you can see, really having a look to the outside of Felipe Drogovic. Always good on the brakes into here as well. And we are up another spot, into 12th then. We should get some DRS on our teammate Schwartzman, but I don't think we're going to be close enough down this first straightaway. For reference then, Armstrong's just set 54.3. We go fastest on a 53.9. So we are really flying early on in this race, obviously on fresher soft tyres than the top guys. I think everyone though is on the softs at the start of this Grand Prix. But yeah, we're closing in on our teammate Schwartzman, who is sat just outside the points. We might try and relegate him one position lower in this race. So Schwartzman going not particularly defensive. I don't think he wants to put up much of a fight. And we're up another place. Oh, yellow flags out. In Sector 2, there's a car in front of us that's going slowly, not too sure who that is. It's Guan Yu Zhou, so unfortunately, the battle between him and Markelov might just end up going Markelov's way, as Guan Yu Zhou has been so unlucky in the second half of this World Championship. He's barely picked up any points after he looked at one point to be our biggest threat there, and yeah, that is Guan Yu Zhou out of this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix feature race, and he'll be starting last tomorrow. Over the back now of young Yuki Tsunoda as we head out onto the back straightaway once again. I don't think he's got the DRS on the cars in front of him this time round, so we might be able to go for a first or standard DRS pass in this Grand Prix on lap 5. And who said you can't overtake at Abu Dhabi? As we get a big run on Tsunoda in towards the next braking zone. Can we hook it up right around the outside? We've got to try and get the car swung over, and yes we do. Tsunoda not really putting up much of a fight once again there. And we're up to 9th. On to lap 6, I've just noticed, I'm pretty certain Matsushita and maybe Giuliano Alesi have now got past Marcus Armstrong, so I'm wondering if they are on the ultra soft tyres in this race, and those guys are trying to just make those tyres work. Now they've got into some clear air there. Matsushita has set a new fastest lap of the race, but only time will tell. Matsushita setting another new fastest lap of the Grand Prix as we're now all over the back of this little train that Armstrong is causing, so it might be that they were on quicker tyres, or I think it might be that actually Marcus Armstrong has got a problem with that car at the moment, because he's under a lot of pressure from a lot of people and really causing quite a train. We need to try and get past Ilott though and get up into at least reverse grip pole. Oh, look at that Ilott, really slow through turn 3. We should get a good run on the Virtuosi man down in towards 4. We are up the inside once more. Typical overtaking place for us so far. Quite where you see many moves in real Formula 1, but that's not going to stop us this weekend, as Jay and Daravala doesn't get a particularly good run through the hairpin. We're going to sneak right around the outside of him and straight away run into P7. Dan Tickton trying to look around the outside of Armstrong down the end of the first straightaway. Are we going to be able to capitalise on this and maybe get a really good run on the exit of the corner there? Let's have a look and see if Lundgaard gets a good run on his teammate as well. They're obviously identical machinery for those guys, and yeah, Armstrong definitely has got some sort of issue then at this stage of the day. Is Lundgaard going to be able to have a look up the inside? We make it 3 wide almost accidentally. We do get it slowed down though, and we're still going to be 3 wide through the next part there. That was Lundgaard trying to give us a big old squeeze. We have got past Armstrong, and accidentally we've pulled off a cheeky double overtake there on both of those drivers, so very, very happy with that. Both ARTs have been disposed of in one little move there. A tiny bit of contact, but I think that was more Lundgaard than ourselves, and suddenly we're into P5. Oh, we got more yellow flags out towards the rear of the field. I wonder who else is going to be dropping to the wayside then and joining Guan Yu Zhou back in the pit lane. It is, by the looks of it, one of the... who is it? Actually, one of the high-tech drivers. Is it Mazepin? I think it might be Mazepin out of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Yes, it is. Mazepin out, as we've got a safety car. We're going to pit. We have to pit here. Both the Lacey and Matsushita at the front of the field haven't been able to, but we are definitely going to take this opportunity and dive into the pit lane there. Dan Ticktum has done the same as well, as we just about get the car slowed down on the marks there. Sato's had to stay out as well. So there's going to be a lot of cars into the pits, a lot of traffic as well, so we need a good, clean, tidy stop if we want to still come out in a good position in this Grand Prix. We are pretty near the end of the pit lane. Let's hope for a nice clean stop. 5.6, and I think we got the jump on Ticktum. Yes, we have. Everyone else seems to have been caught up in all of that. So this has worked out absolutely perfectly for us at the moment. But, on the other hand, the top three are still going to have a lap under Delta, where they don't need to stick to pace still. Or where we can't gain on them, sorry, I should say. I'm a little bit worried, actually, when you look at it. Callum Ilott has come back out on a set of soft compound tyres. So I don't know if some teams are going now for a two-stop strategy or what at this stage of the day. There seems to be some indecision going on up and down the field, but I don't think we're quite going to be able to get the run past the top three here in this race as we head down in towards the final sector. Obviously now they've got 30 seconds ahead of us. But no, Lacey and Sato have stayed out again, so it's only Matsushita into the pit lane. We don't often see safety cars in the Formula 2 career mode, but it is really shaking up the order this weekend. A lot of split strategies going on.
Your delta is negative, which means you are too fast.
Very late call then. The safety car is coming in at the end of lap 11, and really this could be a two-horse race between myself and Matsushita to the end of the race. Not too sure what Lacey and Sato are going to be able to do out on their old softs. Not too sure what all the other guys that pit onto another set of softs are going to be able to do either. But it is green flag racing here once again from the Yas Marina circuit. 5 laps to go here of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. And we need to try and get past Matsushita. Could we pull off a last to first this weekend? Everything seems to have fallen into place so far. We had a brilliant pit window under the safety car, and now we've got a tremendous amount of grip on this fresh rubber. Want to waste absolutely no time whatsoever in trying to get past Nobuharu Matsushita on this restart. We don't get a particularly good run out onto the back straightaway, but we are still going to be close to the MP Motorsport car as we head down the straightaway here. Daruvula is not going to be close enough to go for anything in towards the next big braking zone. Can we have a bit of a look? Oh, Matsushita having none of that. Coming right across us in the braking zone there. He compromises his line though through the corner. We get ourselves to the outside. We get to the inside for the second part of the chicane. And we're now up into P3 of this race. Well, Alesi and Sato surely have to pit, otherwise they're going to get DQ'd. As now Daruvula tries to have a look around the outside of Matsushita as well. Down in towards the next chicane there. Is Jayan going to be able to find the grip around the outside? He gets the inside for the second part. And I think, has he pulled it off? No, Matsushita holds the nose there. Daruvula still got the nose in front though, as they head out the next corner. And now I think Daruvula has pulled off the move. So Matsushita going backwards off the restart. There we go, Alesi and Sato into the pits then at the end of lap 12. So somehow, in just 12 laps, we have gone from 22nd on the grid to leading this race with just 4 to go here. Quite a few cars into the pit lane as well. Lundgaard out of nowhere, back up into P2. What on earth is going on in this race? I think now we've got Lundgaard in P2, Drogovic P3, ahead of Ilott and Markelov. Is everyone else needing to pit? I'm very, very confused. Right, Lundgaard and Drogovic now have gone into the pit lane as well. Then Markelov might find himself in P2 of this Grand Prix, but he's also on softs. So is everyone else in this race pitting again? Armstrong's out still on softs, so I think everyone else has made a huge blunder here. Unless, of course, these Ultra Softs cannot make it, or these Super Softs even, cannot make it to the end of the Grand Prix. Are we the only car trying to one-stop this? I am very, very lost. Well, I've certainly got no issues with tyre wear towards the end of this Grand Prix. Are we going to see Markelov and Armstrong now into the pits? I think Martelov definitely is. Is Armstrong doing the same? Surely he's going to be. And yeah, Armstrong into the pits as well then. So out of nowhere, we've gone from last to nearly a 30-second lead in this Abu Dhabi feature race. Things could not have got any better for us unless I've missed some glaringly obvious rule in Formula 2 that somehow I've overlooked. Well, heading on to the final lap then of this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. I think the only race I can compare to this was that Monaco race. I think it was back in, it must have been 2019, where I think half the cars ended up a lap down due to a pile-up in towards the final couple of corners of the lap. That's, yeah, the only thing I can think of that's anywhere near similar to this. Because out of nowhere, we have come onto the final lap of this Grand Prix with a 27-second lead over a pit stop margin to Nobuharu. Matsushita behind us there. Lundgaard is P3 still, trying to battle him and hopefully help his teammate Armstrong in the points championship. But what a weird race this has turned out to be in the Abu Dhabi feature race here. Down in towards the final few corners though of this race. I'm certainly not complaining, unless of course we come through the final turn and get DQ'd for whatever reason. I can't think that we've broken any rule. We pit after the halfway stage. We were pretty much on the recommended strategy in this Grand Prix. I'm just completely lost as to why no one else thought the Super Softs would be able to make it to the end of the Grand Prix, or why they didn't just pit twice under the safety car, or what. It's all very, very confusing here in Abu Dhabi. I've managed to bin it by myself in all of this confusion, so that gap is going to come down at the front of the field, but a spin in towards the final couple of corners is, yeah, not going to be too big a worry. Down around the final two turns then of this Abu Dhabi feature race, it's going to be 22nd to P1 here. That is what I'm talking about. What a race.
Fantastic drive, just fantastic. You deserve that race win.
So another excellent win from Prema. And I have to wonder, Davide Valsecchi, just what set them apart from the competition here.
The safety car made a big difference today, there's no doubt about it. I can't be certain, but it would have been a very different race and probably podium too without it. What I do know is that they came out of that situation in a favorable position. The safety car really does alter the balance of the race.
As we look back on a thrilling race here today, we can now see the drivers take their places on the podium. It's a familiar sight by now, as it's another successful F2 win for Prema. And now, Davide Valsecchi, let me ask you, who is your driver of the day?
My driver of the day is Mick Schumacher. With this team, Prema Power Team, they made the difference on the race strategy. Fantastic.
So then, after today's event, Prema have claimed the team's championship. Goodbye for now then, but we really are just getting started. Make sure you join us again for Lights Out tomorrow.
Well, there we are then, guys. The end of the feature race here from Abu Dhabi. And it is ourselves, Mick Schumacher, who takes... I genuinely can't remember the last time we won a race this season. It must have been Spain, maybe Monaco? Yeah, genuinely, it's been such a long time since we came out on the top step of the podium there. It might have been the French Grand Prix or Austria, actually saying that. It's been a while, whichever way you look at it. But back on top in the final weekend of the season, that's exactly what we wanted as well there. Matsushita comes through for P2 in the end, starting where he finished as well there. Lundgaard in third ahead of Daruvula, Drogovic. Louis Delatraz finally gets some points on the board there, if I'm not mistaken, which does mean all 22 cars have now scored this season there. Artem Markelov in 7th ahead of Ilot, Aitken and Roy Nassani rounding out your top 10 there. Schwartzman as well, 11th to 11th in the end there. I'm sure he's pretty gutted with that one. Just him and Matsushita that started where they finished this weekend goes to show just how crazy a race it was. Tictum in 12th there, Armstrong all the way down in P14. And you can see Giuliano Alesi from 4th and 19th, and then Sato from 5th to 20th there on the two-stop strategy. Very, very weird at the end of the day there. Mazepin and Guan Yu Zhou not making it to the checkered flag as well. That means that championship-wise, we further extend the gap. Now 101 at the top of the field there. Matsushita does get the jump on Armstrong into P2. That should be pretty safe as well. There is Armstrong starting outside of the top 10 there. Markelov still just ahead of Guan Yu Zhou, as well there is Drugovic picks up some big points ahead of our teammate Schwartzman as well there. Lundgaard and Piquet, though, tied on 96. Eilert and Mazepin tied on 87 with Daruvula just 1 point behind them as well. They see other movers. Dan Tickton gets past Luca Giotto as well. And then, yeah, Louis Delatraz has now got points on the board. Means he leapfrogs Sean Galale and Roy Nassani as well. There is Giuliano Alesi, for how good he's been on Saturday, has just not had the luck this season as well. Teams-wise, no moving at the top of the standings there. No moving whatsoever in the Teams Championship. I think, yeah, really the only battles to look out for are between Racelab and Carlin at the end of this weekend. But there we go then. The feature race here from Abu Dhabi, all done and dusted. We've got one more race. We will be back tomorrow, ready for the sprint race here in Abu Dhabi. Can we finish off the season with a bang? I sure do hope so. You guys do not want to miss it. A big thank you to our channel members for making these videos possible. You can be featured in these end clips as well as granted access to some other exclusive perks for just £1 a month by clicking the join button below.